Welcome to Julie the Thrifty Designer. Today I'm going to introduce you to the Ghost of Christmas Past, and I'm going to show you how I've done a tablescape and many other things that you might be interested in wanting to see. So stay tuned and see what it's going to be like. All right, let's begin with the tablescape. I'm just setting up a simple one for you to see. And I didn't bother with silverware this time because I figured you all know how to set a table with your silverware. But let's begin with the centerpiece. Look at here. I found this long stretch, and it's just candle holder at the thrift store. Okay, it was $9.99 and I got it for half price. All right. And on it, I have simply added a few more picks to it of different various things to bring it that old-fashioned feel. And then I bought these on clearance after summer seasons. I think at Family Dollar a couple of years, 2 or 3 years ago. And I have about, I think, 6 of them. And this one, I've used 3 on a tree, and these 3 here. And then the simple candles in the middle. And I think it is so totally the theme that I am doing this year. It's so old-fashioned, it's Victorian, and it really has that Christmas Carol vibe to it. And I think it's absolutely adorable. So then let's start with the place settings here. All right, here is these chargers. Aren't they gorgeous red? Now, I do know the Dollar Tree has some. However, these ones were given to me by my niece. She just decided she didn't want them anymore. And so I'm using those. But Dollar Tree does have some. These plates here, though, did come from the Dollar Tree. I just bought them. I bought a set of 6. I think they are very beautiful. They are amazing looking. Now this is just a paper plate. I went and found my paper plates that I'm going to be using for my Christmas Eve party. And this is the pattern, and they go beautiful on this table. Then I simply took my red napkins, and then you know my napkin rings that I studded with the gold rhinestones? Well, at Walmart, they have these cute, adorable, they're clips. Can you see that? And I just simply clipped it on it to give it that adorable Scrooge's type of hat, or the hat that they would wear, the men would. And you know, that's so versatile. If I ever wanted to go snowman, it looks like a snowman's hat as well. So it works really as a snowman's hat or Scrooge's style hat. And then I just simply have my whatever kind of glasses, wine glasses or champagne or whatever these might be used for glasses. But unfortunately, I seem to only have a setting of 5. So at the head of the table, I ended up giving them a different glass, but it's still red. And I think it works because the head person at the table could do a toast using a little bit different glass than what everyone else is using. I think it looks so beautiful. I love how it looks. And the nice thing is, everyone gets the same view all the way around the table. There really isn't anyone with a different view. And I did sit at the table the other night, and we sat here with these. And even though they're kind of big, they really weren't that annoying on the candles. It really worked beautiful. So I think this tablescape is gorgeous. I think it just has this amazing look to it that anyone for Christmas would be very happy to sit at. Next, we're going to go and meet the Christmas past ghost. So stay tuned for that. Okay, I am using her as my tree topper, and she is the ghost of Christmas past. The book describes her as young and yet looking old. Well, that's really difficult to do. And tomorrow I will show you a different one that I've made for a different location that does achieve the look better. But this is my ghost of Christmas past. And I have her on a tree that looks like winter. When Scrooge was a boy, it was the winter scenes that the book talks about. And it was full of laughter and fun for most all the children. Ice skating and the children getting to go home for Christmas with their families. And it's just the Christmas of the past, and everything was magical and wonderful, except for Scrooge. But the ghost of Christmas past really loved that look as well. But I'm going to show you up close a few of my decorations. Ice skates plus old-fashioned looking candles and sleigh and popcorn and berries. And then check this out. This is like representing of the children leaving to go home with their families. And poor Scrooge was not able to. And we just have lanterns and lights. And there's more of the children just having fun sleigh riding. Now this is jumping ahead a little bit, but this is because it's on the tree. And it's, "Oh, dear brother," said Fan, whatever it is. "I have come home, brother, to take you home. Father's much kinder than he used to be. Home is like heaven now." So this is Scrooge as a young boy and his sister Fran coming to get him. And it's jumping ahead in the story from where we are actually, because that comes a little bit later. I'll show you tomorrow the other parts of it. But on it, I have simply just put pine cones and picks that has the snow on them to give it that illusion of a winter tree. See, look at that pile of snow on a branch. I just bought a bunch of different picks and I put them in the tree. So this way is how you can take a tree that's just a plain green tree. You buy the picks that you can get like at Hobby Lobbies that has snow on it, cut them apart, or the bushes, and then you just place them wherever you can on the tree, and it really will give you that frosted snow appearance. Then I have little white feathery looking things that are snowballs for the snowball fights of children of the past. Well, this one's kind of laying over. Candle would have never been laying like that. That would not have been safe. And these do light up, but I have them on a timer, and so I am not turning them on right now. They'll be on at night. They start at 5 o'clock. And then an old-fashioned St. Nicholas of the Victorian style. And then like a homemade ornament. My son actually made that when he was in grade school, so it's on the tree. But that's the type of things you'd have seen back then. This one's actually a homemade ornament also. A friend of mine made that and gave it to me. Thank you, Michelle. It's very beautiful. And more snowballs. And, well, we've kind of made a full circle now on this tree. It's very classic winter wonderland. Really a nice Christmas tree. And as you can see, I have turned the camera up and down so you can see it all. I have it sitting on an old sleigh. That sleigh is probably at least 100 years old. And I think it works very fitting for my tree. And yes, my tree does turn. Now, let me introduce you to my cabinet over here. On top, I have just simply put lots of greenery, lights, beautiful poinsettias, and berries of different kinds. There's the dark berries and the crab apples and lots of little berries of various types. And then I have the winter berries that have been frosted with the tips of snow on them. And all the way around, and it just kind of flows off this one side. Isn't that striking? I love how that turned out. It just is very pretty to look at. And then, of course, we have to have Jesus is the reason for this season. So I have my nativity. This is actually one of my first nativities I got after we got married. And it's just got a proud place every year, it seems like. And I try to light it up so Jesus is lit up so you can see him pretty well. And again, I just put greenery on each side with berries and some poinsettias. And then this shelf, I really didn't do anything special to it, not really. It's my everyday stuff in there, but in my antique family heirloom bowl, I just simply put some fruit and some greenery and just let it hang out over it. And then the sign in front of it that does say Jesus is the reason for the season. And then you saw with the introduction this shelf. I found this beautiful lady pushing the sleigh at the thrift store. I think I paid like $3 for her. It is absolutely stunning and beautiful. And I just simply put greenery, absolute beautiful greenery. And I have that lantern that I broke the chimney on it, and I replaced it with this. And I was going to try to put this candle in there, but I can't get it to sit up straight for some extra light. So I'll probably mess with that later and see if I can get it to and get it turned on. I didn't get batteries in it yet either. I'm still working on getting everything with batteries. But isn't that just really beautiful? I think that cabinet turned out so pretty. Alrighty, next I have just a simple Italian print on the wall. And I just did something very simple. I found this cutout of the Holy Family in a stable, and I just simply kind of used some tape and put it on there to hold it. I did it last year and the tape peeled off without hurting the painting, so hopefully it'll do it again this year. But I thought, well, the background kind of gives it like the illusion of this, the background in Bethlehem, maybe. But it works. It's just a simple way to kind of make a picture pop for Christmas. All right, this is my coffee table. Now this flower arrangement here in the middle with the candle is the one I made. My father passed away 23 years ago now. Yeah, on December 7th. So when he passed away, I made this flower arrangement for his memorial. And we've started using it every Christmas Eve. We light our candle from the one in the middle, because we do a candlelight service here at the house when it's all beautiful like it is. And what we do is it becomes symbolic of a moment with our loved one, my father, but it's also the white roses came in when my mother passed away, and some of the gold wisps and stuff came when my brother-in-law passed away, and then, well, I just haven't added any more flowers, but we have become more remembering those that have passed on. And it also has become symbolic of Christ's love and his light that we get from him. So we light from the middle for two reasons: to remember our loved one, and I have people insert their loved one in their mind when they're lighting that has passed on. And then we also get our light from Christ. So that's more explained on Christmas Eve to everyone that shows. Then I just simply put two beautiful lanterns here, and even though you can't tell because it's daylight, I have them lit up. They're solar, and so right now they're just not going to show, but at night they do show very pretty. And they just adding more to the feel of Charles Dickens. And I got them on clearance after the Thanksgiving Halloween type of holiday at the grocery store, and they had a markdown, I think 90% off, and I bought them. So they're sitting there, and I inserted candles inside so they look like the candles are lit. And at night, when you can see it lit up very beautifully, it does look like the candles are glowing. My mother-in-law gave me this throw, and it is just perfect. It looks like an English cottage. And I think it's so pretty. And so I just have it draped like this so you can actually see it. It looks very Christmassy and an English cottage look. And then on my sofa here that I have this year moved in front of the window, I have thrown on my Christmas pillows. And it's one's Jesus is the reason for the season, and glory to God in the highest. And then we have rejoice. And then I just have a velvet pillow. And then I have this one with the fringe and everything, which I thought really looked Victorian, like something they would have done in the Victorian days on a sofa or something. But I think it really has a very beautiful old style look to it. Well, I'm just showing you, this is the sofa table that, normally this sofa divides the room from the living room and the dining room. And this year I've moved it in front of the window. Why, you asked? Well, when I bought this table, I didn't think about that it was really actually too long. And normally where I have the big Christmas tree, I normally put my table and my sofa along that wall. Well, the sofa and the table with this new one, it won't fit there anymore. I don't have the room. So I had to get creative, and actually I turned out I am loving what I have done here. So let's kind of show what's going on here. First of all, let's show this right here. Okay, this wooden thing right here. My grandson and I, a couple of years ago on his birthday, we went to a Revolutionary War reenactment. And while we were there, we got to make woodworking things. Well, he made this candle holder. And he's very proud of it. And he and I cut the log, and then they had these wood cutting tools, and he shaped this long, tall thing, and we had them burn across into it with the iron people, and he dipped his own candle to fit inside. And that really means a lot to him. So this year, he decorated it all by himself for Christmas. And this is what he made it look like. And I have to have it sitting out. Then we just have a Victorian lady sitting out. I was going to use her as like Fezziwig's wife or something, but I didn't have a male doll that big to make it work. So she's just kind of one that's in the atmosphere of the Scrooge's story. Then, of course, I have lanterns on each side. And those are also right now set on their timer, so I didn't want to put them on. And frankly, with the window behind it, might not work anyway. So, I have another doll over here that also represents just some of the ladies in the parties and the Scrooge's book. Or in Dickens' book, I should say. A Christmas Carol. And to balance out my grandsons, I just simply put a plant here with some beautiful poinsettias on them. And I think they turned out very nicely. But let's go to the center here. I just simply put some greenery and some berries in the middle with some lights so it's lit up nice and pretty. But let's check out the Christmas tree. Now this is truly a Victorian style Christmas tree. All right. These are the ornaments on this tree were the ones that I had when I was a child. And my parents had them long before I was born. A good share of these some of them are from the 1950s, but some of them are further back than that. They are probably close to 100 years old on a lot of these ornaments. I know it's very difficult to see the tree with the big window behind it. But let's look at a couple of ornaments. Look at this one. Those ones have been around for probably close to 100 years. They are absolutely beautiful. And some of these antique looking ones all through here. And the card to the back was the last Christmas card that my mother got from her father before he passed away. So it always goes on the tree. And when my mom was a child, I don't know if for sure she's the one that made this Santa sleigh, but I'm pretty sure it's on the back of a Coors box from many years ago. And my mom was born in 1926, and so you know how old that really actually is. And then we have some of the Victorian beads. See how they're swagged in here? Those are definitely from the Victorian era. And there's another one of those birds. Now this is something I want to show you. Oh, I wish you could see it better, and I can't figure out how to get my phone to lighten up enough to show you these things better with the window behind it. But I know my mother made that back when she was like 8, 9 years old. And I think it's supposed to be Krampus, because my grandfather came from Norway. And that would have been a Norwegian thing for Christmas. And so they made it with fur and clay. And it dried, and they've had it on my mother's had it on her tree ever since she was young. And then we have some just reproduction things that my mother loved. But all the way up, then there's an antique angel. Oh, I wish it would show up better. I'm so sorry about the lighting. As you can see, we snowed, so it's really glary outside. But this is my mother's tree, or my parents' tree. But actually, I guess most of the ornaments really did come from my mother side there. But this is what they used to decorate their Christmas tree with. And they had a whole lot more. But my sister and I just divided them. One for her, one for me, one for her, one for me. And that's how we did this. And that tree topper, I think, came from the 50s, but it was always on the tree when I was a child. So that tree totally represents a Christmas carol in every way, because it is truly the style tree with decorations that they would have been using. With probably had popcorn and chains put on it as well. But these are definitely very old ornaments. Some are handmade, and some are just very old, and some are more current, but handmade. Current, like as in the last 30 years. But anyway, this is how my mother's tree has become decorated through the years. So I'm just kind of giving you a quick feel, and I shouldn't show you all the way around, even though I've just showed you a lot, but you've seen it in segments. When I do the whole Christmas tour, I will do it at night so things will pop better, and you'll see all the beautiful decorations in. I'm going to do it in order of how the book is written, to the best that I can. So stay tuned for when I do the A Christmas Carol home tour. But I think it's really looking very old-fashioned, looking Victorian, and the way we would want to see a beautiful Christmas home. And of course, you don't forget my village, and there's the tablescape. Very beautiful. So I hope this has inspired you to figure out how to make a Victorian looking Christmas. It has been a lot of work, but a labor of love. And I have so enjoyed every moment of it to the best of my ability. I don't know, did I show you this? It's just a wreath around one of those lamps with some carolers on each side. Lots and lots of beauty. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. And you all take care. And God bless. And Merry Christmas. And happy decorating. Take care now. Until tomorrow, when I show you the rest of the Ghost of Christmas Past.